Hi, welcome to the shed. I'm here to address some questions about technology. So what is the best setup to get started with the production through performance curriculum? Now the DAW that we use, the DAW du jour is Soundtrap. I like Soundtrap because it is collaborative, because it's freemium. So you can start out with a free version and upgrade. Their upgrading platform, Soundtrap EDU, integrates with every major LMS. It's great. The sounds are good. It's really stable on any platform. It works with Mac, with PC, with Chromebook, with iOS, with Android. It's great. So what's the best setup? Now, the best setup that I have found, the setup that I use, is the setup that I use for all my videos. So I have a MIDI keyboard, and this is an IK Multimedia keyboard. This is an iRig's I/O interface. That means that this is a MIDI keyboard, and it's also an audio interface. So if you want to do any recording, if you want to do some podcasting, or if you want to record somebody singing or playing guitar or something, you can plug a microphone into this and bring this into Soundtrap, and you can record that. Now, any MIDI interface will work with Mac and with Chromebook and with PC. So MIDI will not work with iOS or Android. But if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, let's say you're just starting out and you have computers or you have iPads, there's definitely a way to still get a lot out of this curriculum with a little bit of money. So I've been using the piano keyboard to play all my drum parts. But you can play drum parts on your typing keyboard. So if you look at Soundtrap, now this is on Mac, it's very similar in every other program. You have all the drums here and they're mapped out. So it says the kick is A. So when I press A on the typing keyboard, I get the kick. It says the snare is D, and it says the hi-hat is 8. So or the closed hi-hat is what, U? Yeah, and the open hi-hat is 8. Now this is very similar to how I'd play it on the MIDI keyboard. And there's no latency because it's a typing keyboard. The only thing you can't do is change the volume while you're playing. I like to change the volume when I'm playing on the piano keyboard. It just makes it easier. It has more of a tactile feature. This is the same thing when you go to play a keyboard instrument as well. So now let me add a new track. I'm going to add a keyboard. You can play the keyboard on your typing keyboard. So the names of the notes are right there. And this is better than GarageBand because the notes make sense. So I have, this is C, E, and G. And then my black keys are up here, but I'm not going to use them. The second octave is up here. It's down here, second octave. So it totally works with just a typing keyboard. So if you have Chromebooks, and you don't have the budget to buy MIDI keyboards, you can just use the typing keyboards on your Chromebook. It works fine. But if you want to upgrade, I would recommend getting a MIDI keyboard. IK Multimedia makes the iRig keys, very small, works with pretty much every platform, relatively inexpensive. You can also buy carrying cases for them. Any of the MIDI keyboards that you can find available work really well. So what if you are one-to-one with iPads? So here's my iPad. My school is one-to-one with iPads, and iPad unfortunately does not work with the MIDI keyboard, but it's still really good. So the drums are right here. You can play them with your thumbs. Or if you put it in landscape, there you go. You can play with your fingers and use the same fingers that you do on the MIDI keyboard. One thing that the drums do not have in iOS Soundtrap, you can't play toms, which is interesting. So if you're writing drum fills, just stick to the snare and kick instruments. And the keyboard is pretty good as well. So let's go to keyboards. And I'm going to, let's do some choir. I'm going to do some oohs. It's a regular keyboard. Again, there's no velocity here. Now, it's really difficult to play with the correct fingerings because the keys are smaller. It's not the ideal, but if it's what you have already without having to buy without having to go out and buy a bunch of MIDI keyboards. You can get started right away. It also works with your phone. So if my student isn't in attendance at school and they're not one-to-one, they could use it on their phone. So this is my my iPhone. My favorite is the drums. Stop that. All right, my favorite is the drums. Snare, kick, hi-hat. I mean, how cool is that? So you can play it on your phone as well, and you could start as simple as just having students use it on their phone. Use the freemium version of Soundtrap, upgrade to the EDU version so you can use an LMS. The Shed works on every device. It is it's responsive, so it looks good on every device. It's nice and easy to access from anywhere, so it's that tether to your student when you're not there. But you can start on your phone, nice and easy, and then eventually you can go all the way to, you have a lab with all nice MIDI keyboards and audio interfaces so that you can, record audio as well as MIDI messages. So hopefully this helps. You can, feel free to reach out to shedthemusic@gmail.com to get some more answers for your questions about hardware, but it's up to you based on what you use as a school, and it's really flexible. See you in the Shed.